Driven by fury that knew no bounds, Tryndamere carved a bloody path through the frozen lands of the Freljord. He challenged the mightiest warriors of the north, each battle a step toward preparing for the shadowed future he sensed was coming. His heart burned with the need for vengeance. His clan, once proud, had been wiped from existence. But amidst the ice and blood, he found something unexpected. Beside Ashe, the Avarosan war mother, Tryndamere discovered not only an ally, but a companion. Among her people, he forged a new home. His strength, bordering on the inhuman and unshakable resilience, became legend, turning the tide of battle time and again in favor of those who fought beside him, no matter the odds they faced. Welcome back, lore lovers, to Liandrug, where legends breed and stories never fade. Today, we journey into the frozen heart of the Freljord, where rage smolders beneath calm eyes and ancient fury waits to be unleashed. Settle in, sharpen your senses, this tale is one you won't forget. Tryndamere was born into frost and hardship, on steppes where the cold never relented and survival was the only truth his people knew. His clan honored all of the Freljord's ancient deities, the old gods, the cult of the tree, but their prayers most often reached out to a savage spirit of the tundra, an unkillable Tusklord. Lacking the means to forge proper armor, they poured their skills into crafting mighty blades, modeled after the curved ivory of their divine beast. From these harsh traditions rose warriors of unmatched stamina and skill. They drove back raiders, slew the towering beasts of the mountains, and held the Noxian invaders at bay. Tryndamere grew into a bold and fearsome fighter, but his true trial came one bitter winter night, under a moon wreathed in storm. An unnatural blizzard blew in from the east, cloaking a monstrous figure that stood tall and horned against the sky. Some believed their god had come in the flesh and knelt in reverence. They were the first to die. This being radiated ancient magic, but it was no god of the Freljord. Tryndamere watched the slaughter, helpless, rage clawed at his soul as the creature's living sword cut down his skin. Consumed by fury or madness, he raised his own blade and charged with a roar. The figure struck him down effortlessly. He awoke among corpses, snow stained black with blood. Broken and fading, he heard the creature speak in a strange tongue before it disappeared into the night. But it was the sound of its laughter that haunted Tryndamere, burned into him deeper than any wound. Yet death did not claim him. Instead, something inside reignited, a furious will to survive, to avenge, to reclaim what had been lost. But revenge would have to wait. Some had survived, and without shelter, they would perish. The Noxian pressed from the south, the Frost Guard threatened from the north, and the dark figure had vanished into the east. Only the west held hope, where whispers spoke of a rising leader, the reincarnation of Avarosa. Tryndamere led the remnants of his people westward, arriving in the valley as exiles and outcasts. To earn protection, he did what he knew best. He fought. With every duel, his legend grew, and the specter of the horned figure remained etched in his mind, driving each strike. But his ferocity stirred unease. The Avarosans noticed how quickly his wounds healed, faster than even the iceborn among them. Whispers of unnatural magic followed him, and his brutal displays risked alienating the very people he sought refuge with. Yet the Avarosan war mother, Ashe, saw potential. Seeking strength through alliance, she offered to accept his clan as her own if he would stand as her bloodsworn. Tryndamere accepted, becoming not just her champion, but her partner. Time spent at Ashe's side tempered the storm within him. He began to believe in what others only murmured, that she was the living spirit of Avarosa returned. Affection blossomed, and with it, the fury within him softened, though never vanished. Now king beside the war mother, Tryndamere watches the Freljord's horizon darken once more. War brews, and though he stands as Ashe's sword and shield, the pool of vengeance remains strong. He begins to wonder if the path laid before him leads alongside his queen or away from her into the east, where an old laugh still echoes in the frozen wind. If you are enjoying this story so far, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. It helps Liandrug grow and lets me bring you even more tales from the worlds you love. Your support keeps the fire burning, lore lovers. In the story The Barbarian King, we find Tryndamere in the coldest reaches of the Freljord, where silence lingers long after the wind dies. A forgotten night in the Avarosan Hall revealed the fury that slept beneath Tryndamere's calm, waiting like embers in the ash for a breath of war to awaken it. Far in the frozen north, beneath the creaking beams of a long house half lit by dying braziers, Tryndamere sat quietly at the head of the Avarosan table. No war cries, no duels, just a man of broad shoulders and grey-streaked hair, listening. His green eyes, dull and flat like an animal's, revealed little, but those who had glimpsed the storm behind them knew better. In those dark halls, as snow whispered against shattered windows, he endured the complaints of petty envoys, landholders and cattle counters who droned on about soil and grain. One dared to lecture him on the virtues of agriculture. Tryndamere remained still, unflinching, the image of restraint, and yet behind him the young battle-maiden Sigra waited for even a flicker of that legendary fury. She had heard the stories. She wanted to see the man become the myth. She got her wish. The doors of the hall burst open, flung wide by wind and snow, and a war party. Warriors armed and blooded entered without hesitation, led by a woman with a scar carved across her face. Heldred, Sigra's old war mother. Tryndamere did not rise. He watched, calm, measured. Heldred wanted blood. Her village had been ravaged by the winter's claw, and she blamed Ashe's call for warriors, blamed the bloodsworn who sat silent behind safe walls. Her challenge rang loud, an ancient right, blood for blood. Tryndamere stood at last and offered shelter, food, safety for her survivors. Heldred spat. When Sigra tried to stop her, the fight began. Heldred moved like a predator, each strike with her axe heavy and honed. Sigra held her own barely, but was soon beaten down, weaponless and prone beneath the axe's shadow. Then Tryndamere moved. He caught the blade in his bare hand. Blood ran down his arm. The wound closed before her eyes. His voice, when he spoke, carried the weight of storms. Avarosan protect one another, but his fury had already awakened. Heldred attacked again, one last, wild swing meant to kill. Tryndamere roared. The sound was not human. It came from some deeper place, something ancient and wounded and monstrous. In that instant, the man vanished, replaced by the fury coiled behind dull green eyes. He lunged. 2 winters have passed since that night. The fire in the hall still burns low, and Tryndamere still sits in silence. But Sigra remembers. She sees Heldred's twisted final expression in her sleep, hears the echoes of her screams when the embers crackle in the dark. She keeps her watch behind the Barbarian King, silent, still, and every night she prays the coals remains unlit. Thanks for watching, lore lovers. If this story struck a chord, give it a like, share it with your fellow myth seekers, and subscribe for more legends just like this. And don't forget, our Discord is open to all who seek stories. Join us and help build a cozy corner of the internet where lore lovers gather, discuss, and dream together.